Okay, welcome to subjectmoney.com. What we're going to do today is a tutorial on how to create a scenario analysis of an investment using Microsoft Excel. What we're going to learn in here is how to calculate the expected return um, whenever there is probability involved. We're also going to calculate the standard deviation, and that's a statistical measure that measures the risk of investment. So return and risk, the two things that investors care about when it comes to investing. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to identify our scenarios. So I'm going to go ahead and start building this scenario analysis. Okay, so in our example, we're going to go ahead and um, use the different states of the economy. Okay, so severe recession. I'm going to go ahead and justify this, make it fit. Okay, so we have our four different states of the economy, and you can just kind of watch what I'm doing, so you can learn how to use Excel if you haven't learned these. And honestly, if you're going through this tutorial with me, you probably use Excel quite a bit. Okay, so we have our scenarios. Now we have to list our probabilities that are associated with these scenarios. What are the probabilities of these different economic states actually occurring? And we would normally get this data through extensive research of all the different economic cycles, but in this example, we're just going to make them up. Okay, so that's a 5% chance of a severe recession, a 20% chance of a mild recession. Let's say there's a 50% chance of normal growth and a 25% chance of a boom. And I'm just going to go ahead and do two decimal places. So, okay, so we have our probabilities. Now what's important is you can see with probabilities we're putting these in decimals. And the important thing to know to check is to make sure that all of these equal 1. So we're going to go ahead and check that because the total is going to come out to 100% being since it's probabilities. So the way we check that is equal sum, and then we highlight the numbers that we want to add up, and there, checks out, pass the test. Okay, so now we're going to enter our returns that are associated that this investment has historically earned with these different economic states. So we'll say that this investment historically has lost 38% during a severe recession. It has lost 12% during a mild recession. It has earned 18% during normal growth and 40% during a boom. And I'm going to go ahead and do these a border, and then I'm going to merge this right here. I'm going to name this probability distribution. This right here, the returns listed with the probabilities of occurring, this whole thing is called the probability distribution. Okay, so we have our probability distribution. Now we need to find our expected return of this investment. And the way we do that is we have to multiply for each state of the economy, we have to multiply its return by its probability of happening. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Equals so star, which represents a multiplication symbol in Excel, equals. Okay. And now we don't have to keep entering that in each cell. We can just drag this down, and it will drag that formula down relative to each row. So you can see C2B2, C3B3, C4B4, and so on. Okay, and I'm going to title this that. Okay. Now, now that we have these numbers, we can go ahead and get our expected return. Okay. Because these have probabilities with them, we couldn't just add these up and divide them by 4 the way we would find an average or a mean. These are weighted, and that's why we have to add up these numbers. We have to do this first. So we're going to equal sum, and highlight the numbers we want to add up. And there's our expected return. Our expected return is 14.7%. Okay, so we have our expected return. We'll go ahead and highlight that because that's an important number. Keep a little border. And now we're going to want to start to test the volatility, the risk of this investment. And the way we're going to do that is first we're going to find the deviations. How far does each scenario's return deviate from the expected return? Okay, so we'll label this deviations. If this investment just earned a 14.7% return, no matter what state of the economy was, then deviations would equal 0, and therefore there would be no volatility. But historically, it'd be pretty stable, low risk, but that's not the case. There is risk, there is volatility. There's hills and valleys during that while earning that 14.7%. Okay, so the way we calculate our deviation is we subtract the expected return from each scenario's return. Minus. Okay, and now just drag that down. And there. Okay, but we're definitely not done yet. What we're working at is we're ultimately going to calculate the standard deviation, but there are steps involved to calculate that. So as you can see right here, yeah, we've gotten the deviations, but there's a problem. It's these negative numbers right here. We couldn't just add these up, and know what the volatility of this investment is, because these negative numbers and these positive numbers, they offset each other. So there's more that we have to do. Okay. So now to solve that problem, we simply square the deviations, and that makes all numbers positive. Equals to the power of 2. Okay. So there, and we carry this down, and we're going to name this deviations squared. And to save room, because I want to keep this blown up for you, that text. I'm trying to keep this where it's better for your eyes. Okay, so we have our deviation squared. We're still not done. First of all, we need to give us some borders. These deviations squared, we need to multiply them by their appropriate probabilities, because again, they do not have the same probability of occurring. There we go. So we've multiplied that